Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might...
Camara Drive-In. It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
On play action, it's Carr. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. 36 yards on the play. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. 3 plays, and the end result. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here come the Saints now for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect. A
lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
On first down, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
On third and long, it's Allen. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
I got you, boy.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. As soon as he caught that toss and looked upfield, you could tell they had a big numbers advantage blocking-wise.
They certainly did, which means oftentimes your safety will be unblocked. That means he's got to play it from what they call inside out. Don't let the running back cut back across your face. Keep him pinned to the sideline and go make the tackle.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Right down. Right in. That's what I do.
On second and 12. Carr, it's complete to Snead. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the gun now on third down, Carr, and he's got Snead. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Here we go.
Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. James. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the ground, it's James. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
I'm here all day. Check 31, check 31.
They'll run on first down. James. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Crunch time, defense. Watch tape the creep. Watch tape the creep.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Willie Snead. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Now for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved out to an early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 11 carries, 76 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Toss play, Kamara. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He's got Smith here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good for his Saints' first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection, escaping the pressure right. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he slings one that's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Running with Kamara. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Flushed out right. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
We just saw one of the benefits of a quarterback having mobility. Scrambled around, kept the play alive, and then found a receiver open downfield for a touchdown.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10.
What down? 180. Here we go.
On 1st down, it's James, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the 2015 first-round pick, Malcolm Brown, brings him down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. the right side here, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Check, 47.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. First down. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Alex Anzalone coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Watch the pass.
Throwing now is Carr. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working. That means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Allen now on first down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Throwing on first down is Allen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
Throwing now is Allen. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run on first down. James. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down now, it's James. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Carr. James has got it, complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here comes Grant on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter up in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now Allen to throw. Throwing on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
I'm gonna hit you all.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
From midfield, here's Allen. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And here's Allen on first down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, it's Allen. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, it's Carr. Snead's got it. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Play action. Now it's Carr. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Grant. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jakeem Grant, 79 yards, and the Saints have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. Here's Allen to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Carr now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Niners who have the lead as those two teams play the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Christian Kirk leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The Dolphins trying to run their mark to 4-2 if they could hold on to that lead. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. An NFL update, second quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. Jameis Winston, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Here we go.
On first down, Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Rodriguez. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Stop here, D. 51, Mike. Mike 51.
Now Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 26-yard line. Derrick Henry trying to run inside, but nothing there. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll run it again with Henry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10.
That's a pick, boy. That's a pick. Going the other way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Check, 47. It's going to be a long day.
On 1st down, it's James. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. James. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game because on that...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. Now a short one to Gesicki. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Check 26, check 26. 22, check, over. 22, check.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on second down, Allen gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Sponge, sponge, sponge. No.
Draw play. This is Henry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. Back now here live in New Orleans. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
What now?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Big series right here. We got to step.
On first and 10, here's Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. It's caught. Smith. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Saints on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, it's Allen. Open man is Michael Thomas. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get
To throw, it's Allen. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs, needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Saints on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Check.
Allen now looks to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's James. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man. That That's caught left sideline. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on first down. It's James. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. James. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down 20-19. And time, a huge factor. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Allen to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Allen going to go on 4th down. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's bring it. Joker, 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 Joker. 44, 44. Go. Go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Detroit, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.